Bonjour, everyone. Hi, I'm Neshi Lilkatz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page where we do a lot of live streaming from. And tonight is a very, very special live stream. We're actually coming from the Star Nation's Academy, which is where I usually broadcast from. But for tonight, that is what the topic is. And the teacher that's coming up here to teach is from Massachusetts, and she's going to be here. You guys all know her, right? You listen to her shows, her two shows. Polly Jo Labbe is here with me, and we're going to be sharing some information about her upcoming class here at Star Nations Academy starting October 5th through the 2nd. And so I'm going to bring her on. Hang on. Here she is. Hey, Polly Jo.
Hi, Neshi. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. Listen, it's rainy and cold here, but we're doing really good on the inside because we had the oven on and we had like a roasted dinner and it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fall here for sure.
Yes, we're having rain here at the moment too, so we're trying to do fall as well.
Well, I think that coming together tonight is, I mean, just spending time with you is fun anyway. But to bring the information about the class that you're going to be teaching here this coming weekend, so that people really understand what it is that you're teaching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do have a couple of pictures here I want to show. This is the first promo that we did together to announce the class, Mystical Energy Healing 101.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! Now I was wondering.
Yes.
Now, at your school, Trinity Healing Sanctuary, so you say it.
Trinity Healing Sanctuary is where we are located,
Yes.
and Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing is my actual school.
That's it.
Yep.
I knew the sanctuary was one, and I knew that the other one was the healing.
That's
so
okay.
we have Karen with us tonight. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. Karen's a third-year student. Hi, Miss Karen.
And look who else is here. Jill, our good friend.
Oh, yay. Hi, Jill. Hope you're doing well.
Good to see you in the chat. And Jackie's with us, too. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. Woohoo.
Good to have you here with us.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the things that we wanted to do tonight was to share some information about the class because those of us in the Midwest especially, we may not know about your school and so what it really is that you have to offer. Can you start us out with a basic understanding of what your school is and what you're bringing to the Midwest?
All right. So I teach what my spiritual team calls mystical energy healing. That is a combination of vibrational healing, sound healing, and bringing together ancient modalities that have been learned throughout the ages. So most people have heard of things like Reiki energy healing or maybe some angel healing. This is teaching you how to use those different things all at the same time. And what we do to heal is we attune your vibration to the frequency of your life purpose. So as you start to get more in tune, the more you start to align with who you are and what you are here to do, I guess is the best way to put that.
Okay, well, when we do our own healing, the emotional and mental trauma healing, we do what I call remove the debris and the interference, right?
Yep.
And so when we think of it that way, and we're going to be attending this class, can you give us an example of what we might be doing to be able to remove that interference?
Yep. So the first thing that happens is when you walk in the room, you're going to actually be in a vibration. The vibration of the space that we're in will be sort of set to shake us up a little bit. And as that is happening, we are going to do some talking about different areas, our different chakras, and what might be located in there, because we have beliefs and ideas and patterns and trauma that kind of gets stuck in different places. And so that's how the energy gets kind of rattled a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to do some self-healing techniques to teach you how to, when you feel unbalanced or you feel out of sorts, how can you take care of yourself? So we'll learn a little bit about that and how to do that in a couple different ways, because not everybody is going to resonate with, okay, we're going to try this way. And some people will love it and other people will be like, eh. So we'll try a couple different ways so that you have something you can go home with and use right away.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good, because a lot of times you come back from a class and you take your folder and you put it up on a shelf, right?
Yeah, no, this is really practical, and things you can do like kind of on the quick. If you're in a business meeting and all of a sudden something stirs up, or you're at an airport and your energy gets all wacky, how do you clear it quickly? So we'll be doing some of that, and then we'll also be learning how to open our heart energy more. Because when our heart energy is open, it helps heal through our whole energy system. And we'll actually be learning on Sunday, we'll be learning a couple of healing techniques that you can do with a partner as well.
Oh, well, I think that is a great segue to this document. We're going to give it a solo because it's kind of small print.
Yes, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm going to actually attach it to the comments when we're finished with the live stream, so that everybody can see it a little bit clearer.
Yep.
Yeah. So if we could just kind of go over it just a bit, so that, because people on their phones, they're going to be looking at it, and it's really, really tiny print.
Yes. Sorry, Garrett. It was only 12 font.
That's right. That's right. Because we wanted to stick to one page. That was the issue, right?
Yes, it was.
So on the itinerary, you have a couple of questions up there. Do you want to read those questions to them?
Yes. So it says, are you feeling stuck in your life, in your relationships, or in your job? Do you feel like no one understands you or what you are going through? Are you looking for something more fulfilling, or are you ready to change your life? If you said yes to any of these questions, and these workshops are for you. Take a dive into mystical energy healing to access this transformation that has been calling to you. Because that's the key. We usually go through periods where things feel cruddy in our lives. And it's urging us to create some change. And these workshops help you start that.
Yeah. And so if you could say yes to any one of those questions, and those are really good questions, because even though we might have been consciously awake on our spiritual walk here, there's times in our lives when it's time to shift and change to something else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so a class like this actually helps us to prepare to step into that, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. We all have, new chapters that come up in our lives. And, we have a change in circumstances, or sometimes we just get bored doing the same thing over and over again and just want something a little different. But we get used to the same old.
Yeah.
And we get kind of comfortable in the uncomfortable. And so sometimes we wait a little too long until the universe kind of shoves us out of where we're at. But if we have a moment where we actually just simply feel stuck, we can take action at that moment rather than waiting for the cosmic, 2x4.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, that's not my favorite.
What I would like to do is just pause just for a second, because we're going to be getting into some of the segments of how the course is broken out. And what I'd like to do is ask people that are in the live chat, if you could please share and like the broadcast and share it out because the next piece that we're going to be going over is kind of important. I want to make sure whoever was going to come, and you know how that goes. You're busy doing something, and time goes by, and you think, I want to listen to that or see that, and you forget.
Yep.
So as you're doing, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to share.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to share it to the group. And if we can say hi, we are live streaming.
Hi,
And
Connie.
please join us.
Saw Connie's face and a little heart pop up. So
And we're going to send that over to, I think, the radio network group.
perfect.
Because I already shared it with the Academy group, so they already know. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share it to my timeline because that way my friends know that
Yep.
we got something cool going on in Toma on this weekend.
Nice. And that's close by.
Yeah. It's just in their backyard.
Yard, yes.
And live streaming. And I like those quick keys. Makes it a little bit faster. There we go. And we're going to post that.
Perfect.
Good. Thanks for the pause.
No worries.
All right. So this next piece that I wanted to share, thank you, Connie, for sharing. The next piece that I wanted to cover with Polly Jo, I think is really important because it shows the depth of the work that's going to happen this weekend. And Polly Jo is very mindful of what it takes, right, to come to a class, what we have to arrange in our personal lives, and the travel time and all of that. And so this next piece is something that I think that is going to be very important. That if you're considering to come to this class or any class, that you take this step into consideration. So,
Yeah.
Polly Jo, would you like to please go over the segments and why? Why did you decide that you were going to split it up into segments?
I mean, you and I had, talked about 2.5 days of workshop. And so as I was sort of convening with my spiritual team, they sort of gave me an overall idea of what we were doing. They kind of gave me some tools about how I've taught this before in other segments. And then about 2 weeks ago or something like that, my team all of a sudden said, no, it's going to be a little more segmented. So that way each section can be a standalone. So if somebody has a super busy schedule, if you can only come to one segment or 2 segments, you could still do some of the work and some of the experience if you couldn't clear your whole weekend. So I thought that was I think it's a really helpful tool because,
Yes.
it is hard to clear your whole weekend sometimes.
Sometimes it is. It really is. So let's go over the first segment, which is Friday night.
Yeah. So Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m., kind of doing a meet and greet, get to know people. But then we're going to do a live version of our healing meditation that we do with Soul Connections. Mm-hmm. So you'll have it in person, and I'll do individual readings for each person. So you'll get a little more in depth than we would get into online. And when it's a smaller group, the healing meditation carries a very strong vibration in person. I'm sure you can imagine. Mm-hmm. But it also is completely geared to whoever's present. So it'll be much more in depth and effective, I guess, is the best way.
Right. Well, I think it's a good primer for what's going to follow on the next 2 days.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to kind of clear out whatever stress you've been carrying, any doubt, any, anything that's kind of spinning around in the head.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I used to do this again on Wednesday evenings here live before we started doing it on Star Nations. And it was people's way to kind of release all of their stress and make it through the rest of their week. So this is a way to kind of let all that stress go so that you can actually work on key issues that you've been holding on to for a while.
Okay. And Saturday?
Yeah, so Saturday is broken into two segments. The first one is from 9 to noon, and that one is called Essential Chakras. So this class is all about learning about the chakras and about what each one does to you for your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual health. Because lots of times we know things are off, but we don't know where it's getting its juice from.
Mm-hmm.
And then I bring in the essential oils and show you ways to balance your own chakras just with the oils themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do a chakra balancing meditation, which is different than what I do
On Tuesdays?
on Tuesdays or I've done it once or twice, I think, on a Tuesday. But it's different than what I usually do on Wednesdays. So it's teaching you how to do that. And then that's a tool you can have for the rest of your life, This is how I balance my chakras, and this is how to do it. These are the oils that I can use. So again, that's like two tools really to put in your toolbox
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat. And then we're taking a lunch break because I need to eat. But also because there's a lot of energy flow. And so it's really a good idea for everybody to get out and get grounded and get some food in, kind of gently let whatever was shaking energetically settle down.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back from lunch from 1:30 to 5. We're doing expanding your heart energy.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
And this one, I think everybody, like, I think this is like a planetary need. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's my personal opinion, but the way my guides phrased it, because I'm going to just read that. When we have difficulty loving ourselves, we struggle in all aspects of our lives. So we'll be working on some more self-healing techniques and some guided learning. And then we're going to do some group self-love exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll also have like a list of books too and references that people can read if they want to keep that energy moving for themselves. And that we want to get the heart, in a space where it's really ready to make some shifting. And that way you're calling in the divine love energy to help you with that.
I just want to maybe add an example in here because some people may need to have a visual sort
Okay.
of to understand what is it that this is going to do.
So most people, let's just start with shame. How
Mm-hmm.
about shame? So shame holds a particular vibration, and we all have had shame at some point in our lives. And that shame, when it's held in your heart chakra. And when it's held in your heart chakra, it it basically collapses your heart energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things we're going to do is look at how that may be, what beliefs and ideas and patterns you might have around shame,
Mm-hmm.
that would be making it difficult for your heart to be fully open.
Right.
And
Okay.
then we're going to do then as soon as we have an idea, maybe a little nudge,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know, I had, shame around what clothes I was allowed to wear, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to be like blatant. It could be like, you're wearing that. And then you're like, you get deflated like a balloon because you loved it. And then, somebody else just didn't. And now you feel like this big. Um, and so now you don't wear that color or that kind of clothing because one person didn't like it
Mm-hmm.
and made you feel bad. So when you can kind of tap at that and go, well, is that really my truth? And then is that perfect for me? Um, we get to go in there and release that so you don't have to hold that any longer.
Don't have to carry that around anymore. And for
No.
those of us who are in our 50s, if that happened when you were a child or in high school, look how many years we've carried that around.
Yeah, I had a particular one around I don't know if I told this to you before, but um, I was told that I didn't look good in the color yellow. And I've actually heard a number of people say they were told that.
Mm-hmm.
And this summer, my husband saw this yellow sundress and was like, you should try it on. And I was like, it's yellow. I don't look good in yellow. And he said, who said? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's
What?
humor me, just put it on and just prove to me you look bad in it, right?
Yeah.
And I went and tried it on and it looked fabulous. I get so many compliments on that dress. And it's like, oh my God, I spent over 50 years of my life not wearing yellow because
Mm-hmm.
somebody told me I look bad in it.
Ah.
And it was like, oh, okay. How
So
many other
we can
things?
just clear that out. It might sound small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say trivial, but small compared to other things that we could be carrying around, right?
Right.
But when it's happens when we're young,
Mm-hmm.
it's part of the foundation, right?
Right.
And so if we can remove that, we free up the energetic space for something really good to fill.
Yeah, for something lovely and yummy. And the fact that,
Mm.
I just feel alive and happy. Like my inner child is like happy in this like bright and colorful dress. I feel like sunshine, and I missed that experience. And that was self-love. It was like, oh, I love myself in this. And I'm so happy that I have it. And it also freed me up to go, what else have I been told I look bad in? you know, I'm going shopping.
Karen is saying something to you here. Wasn't that the dress you were told it was so Polly Jo?
Yes, we had a woman who did she came and did channel teaching. And she was channeling. And
Mhm.
in her channel, the higher self that was speaking through her, who
Uh-huh.
was like, and like that dress, that is so Polly Jo, and it was like, yes, it was so me. And that's what everybody said. Well, of course, that dress is so you.
Yeah.
And I would have missed out on a piece of me by not having that dress.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob is in the house, and you know about him and his sense of humor. I had to share this one.
Yes,
Told by the
yes,
Red Union.
yes, must have been.
Must have been. And here, Jill is saying, not small at all. It discounts your choices, your judgment, and your rightness. That's so
Absolutely.
true. And you know what else went through my mind, Jill, when Polly Jo was sharing that, is that that person, whoever told her that, must have been jealous of how fabulous Polly Jo looked,
Hmm.
that she planted that seed and it
Yep,
took root, right?
it did. It really did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, um, and it may be that little, or it might be something bigger, like, that um, you weren't allowed to um, could be as big as you weren't allowed to believe in God the way you felt or received God.
Mm-hmm.
So you were told God was judgmental and you were,
Mm-hmm.
a sinner
Beautiful.
or whatever, and that's not how you experienced the divine.
Mm-hmm.
um, that would have closed your heart down because you thought God was all love and joy and
That's right.
unconditional. So it could be something like that that gets removed,
Mm-hmm.
which could be life changing as well.
Right, 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 right. And something that you said there, Polly Jo, that was
Yeah.
really, I think, directly to the heart, and pun intended,
Mm-hmm.
is that you would have missed out on a part of you,
Yes.
right? And so when we're healing those aspects of ourselves, um, when we do that clutter clearing, because that's really what it is. It's the ultimate clutter clearing.
Yep.
Is that we actually become more and more the being that we were meant to be here now.
Yep. Exactly.
You know,
That's the whole point. Yep.
that's the whole point. And so that's why here at Star Nations that we offer these kinds of classes, because we're constantly talking about this in our shows, that to take the time to do your self-care, to heal those traumas, to reach out and ask for help, to establish good boundaries. And all of that is so that you can become the being you were meant to be,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
And we're only on Saturday.
We're only on Saturday.
All right. So on Sunday,
So on Sunday we have we're awakening your true potential. And this again is we're going deeper into beliefs and we're going deeper into patterns, the things that really block you from your life purpose.
mhm,
Um, and so that may be some of the long held traumas. There are times when it's really good to allow your victim to become empowered
mhm,
so that they no longer have to be weighted down by anything they've held on to. So I like to empower the victim to become victorious, to turn into a survivor, a thriver,
driver. Hmm.
because you didn't just live through it. You are, you built your foundation on it and you stepped off. So we're doing it in two segments on Sunday. We're again doing 9 to 12, and then taking an hour and a half to kind of let ourselves chill out. And then we're going to go back at it from 1:30 to 5.
Hmm.
And this is really a deep dive. And most of the time when you do this type of workshop, there's a ton of people in the room and, you might get to share a little bit. Um, but this is really meant for you to kind of go at something really deep that's been coming up repeatedly in your life and really blocking you. And we're going to gently help you get through that. And we'll also be doing some healing. So we'll be learning how to do some healing on each other.
Hmm.
Um, and as we learn to do that healing, I have a couple of heart healings in particular that help with this. Um, it empowers you to be vulnerable to receive, and it also empowers you to be the one to actually um, help somebody on their healing journey. It's a beautiful thing, and that can be heart opening all on its own.
Hmm. I'm writing the title again.
All right, thanks.
Row one. Wait, Polly Jo. And I'm going to take our names down there, and we're going to put this up. And one of the things that we can do is, okay, so when we do this kind of work for ourselves, that self care,
Yeah.
it yes, it's so important that we do it for us, right?
Yeah.
so that we live the kind of life that we're meant to live here now, to
Right.
do the work, the soul work that we're meant to do now.
Right.
But it also goes back 7 generations to your ancestors, 7
Absolutely.
generations forward to your descendants.
Yes.
And so your ancestors get to heal. Maybe it's a ancestral lineage
Yep.
item that you're clearing. And so you're disrupting the cycle, you're ending that cycle
Yep.
so that they now don't have to deal with that in
Nope.
any future lives. And your descendants, they don't have to go through that. They're going to go through their own stuff, but they don't have to carry that with them anymore.
Yes. No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times too when, if we every so often we tap into a past life energy of somebody, and the past life energy is running currently as well. And when that happens, when we tap on the past life, it does 7 generations from the past life and 7 generations forward from the past life, as well as the current life.
Right.
So, one healing can do 14 generations, and then you can do, 28 if you hit a past life at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
I mean, the ripples of that is quite something,
Uh huh.
you
All
know.
right. I just going to pause just for a moment again. I'm going to let that sink in to those that are watching what Polly Jo just said, because it's extremely important in the work that you do to heal yourself, that it could ripple out for 28 generations,
Mm-hmm.
past lives, future lives, descendants. It's big. That's why it's so important for us to do this kind of work.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I know that I'm behind on
Comment.
comments. Jill saying, "I want to join you. I please come."
Oh, you should hop
You
on a
know,
plane with me.
how often would you have the opportunity to come to Wisconsin, right?
and
Because Jill, I'm probably the only person you know here in the state. Probably, maybe.
and the
Uh,
reality is, I don't do this type of workshop. I usually only do a half a day or a whole day. Um, I only teach the weekend setting in my school as you're enrolled in the school.
mhm.
Um, so I don't even this I'm doing just for Star Nations, just for you guys. Um, and so this is kind of unheard of. I mean, and the other thing I had said to you, Neshi, was that, for somebody to take a weekend class with me here,
Mhm.
here at my school, they're paying over $700 for the weekend,
Mhm.
and they're getting their money's worth. And so, if you took the whole weekend and it's $222 instead of like you're saving over $500,
At
you know,
least, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just, guys, like, you don't understand, you know, we've done like PTSD trauma healing in one of these short workshops, that people have carried with them for decades. Um, and
Yep. Now,
go for it.
Jill is asking you to repeat what you said about the healing and the 28, and I don't know if you can do that because sometimes it's channeled stuff. And
Yeah. No, I think I've got it though. So
okay.
when you do a normal healing, just a regular healing, you're healing 7 generations backwards and 7 generations forwards. So that's 14 generations. If you come into the healing and we tap onto something that was active in a past life. So say you were persecuted for using your healing gifts and you're feeling anxious about being a healer in this lifetime. If we tap onto that life where you were persecuted could be all of the lives that you were persecuted. Let me just even put that out there.
Mm.
You're going to heal that life 7 generations backwards and 7 generations forward, as well as the current life that you're in. So if you hit one past life, you're healing 28 generations.
28.
28 generations. Like,
A lot of people.
that's a lot of people, and it's
That's
a
all.
lot of the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you doing one thing for you could impact that many people.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't, my biggest thing is if you don't like how things are in the world today, change yourself.
Yeah. Start with you. The work starts on the inside.
Because this can ripple out.
So, and I'm in tears. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like that one, like being persecuted for your gifts. I mean, you could have 3 or 4 past lives that have that, and then multiply all those by 14.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And Rob is saying something here. He's saying, I wish I could be there. We wish you could be here
Oh,
too.
me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Even if you were here just for a day, it would be cool to get a hug from Rob.
In person, right?
In person. Yes, I'm waiting for that.
Just to hear, wait. No, it's just to hear him say, what do you know, Polly Jo in person?
In person, in his real voice. Yes. Yeah, and bring his guitar and play something for me. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
You owe me, Rob. Next time I'm out there, we'll have to set it up, dude.
That's right. Absolutely. So the thing that we have left to cover is, well, you kind of touched on it, the cost, the amount and this is really, it's somewhat of a giveaway. We're just going to put it out there like that. For the full day, Saturday and Sunday, it's $115. To be here Friday through Sunday is $222.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this has been a slight change, right, than from when we first started announcing the class. And so what I need to do is go out to our website and update the PayPal situation out there. And so if you're looking at registering for the class, just give me at least this evening or tomorrow morning to be able to get that piece done. I'm going to call in some help. I'm going to be calling in the elves.
Good.
Call me a hand with that. Yeah.
And then the other thing too is, there is that half day on Friday just to come and do the healing and just get your stress relief and get a little one-on-one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what it was, $25. I mean, come on. Yeah. You can't do a workshop with me anywhere. My own students might fly out for that, like, what are you kidding? With the airfare, it's still cheaper to fly to Wisconsin.
Some people might be asking, why is she doing that? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. Is that Polly Jo is doing this for Star Nation's community, really.
Mm-hmm.
As a thank you for all the support that you guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen says, I'm on my way.
I would love to have you. You can hop my back, babe. I wouldn't put it past her. No.
and like I said earlier, Polly Jo, is that you do understand what it takes to arrange your personal life to be in a class.
Oh, right? Absolutely. I do. I totally get it. And it's really hard, but there are times when you don't have that many opportunities. And, when was the last time you put your self-care first?
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been doing that, then great. But if you haven't done something really deep for yourself in a little while, I'm just going to give you a little nudge. What are you waiting for? You've got this awesome opportunity. And I don't know when I'll be back at Star Nations, maybe in the spring, but it's not going to be in the winter. That's for sure.
Come on.
I love you, but I don't like to fly in the snow.
All right. So here is a really good question. Jill is asking, what airport? Okay, so here's the thing, is that the nearest airport to me is La Crosse, Wisconsin, La Crosse County Airport. It's a very small airport. Okay, it's 45 minutes from me. And then there's Madison-Dane County, which is about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes, depending on traffic. And that's at our state capital, okay, Madison. And then if you go further out from that, the Twin Cities is a 3.5 hour drive, and Chicago is a 3.5 hour drive. There's also Milwaukee, which is, I think, a 2 hour. I think that's a 2 hour drive or 2.5 hour drive, something like that. So we have airports, but we're a little bit further north and northwest. So if you don't mind a little bit of a drive, come into Madison. If you want to have an easier drive, that's La Crosse. But the flight's going to be a little bit more because it's a small airport. It's cute though. Once you fly into La Crosse, it's like, God, I wish flying could be this easy all the time.
Yeah, there's only 4 gates. You don't get lost there. You don't get overwhelmed. But I'm flying into Milwaukee myself this time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the last time you flew into La Crosse, and when you were here last month. So what you said about what are you waiting for, right? What are you waiting for? I wanted to add something to that.
Sure.
And that is when we are utilizing our gifts, when we're applying our gifts, we're just not having them sit and collect dust on a shelf somewhere, right? That that the kind of work, the kind of healing work that you're going to be doing in this class is about setting a very good foundation for you to stand on as you deliver your soul work.
Absolutely.
And that also goes for other classes that you might take with other teachers.
Yep.
Other teachers, it's going the information that you're going to be getting from other teachers is going to be come to you in a much deeper way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thinking about my friend Amantha Murphy, right?
Yes.
She's teaching a class soon, and she does a lot of ancestral work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, if some of the people in the class that I had taken with her the first time had this work, we wouldn't have had to go through some of the drama as they were accessing their ancestors, or the actually, healing the broken heart from maybe a past life and definitely from this lifetime, for those people who may not have known their parents, their biological parents.
Yep.
And so they don't know who their ancestors are because they don't know their parents.
Right.
So so this kind of work that Polly Jo is offering really is a really good foundation to lead the rest of your soul work from, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I find people who do this work in this particular way, I learned in a particular way, and I could see that it needed to be, or feel, wasn't really a see. I could feel, and my spiritual team were kind of like, okay, but you're going to add vibration to it. You're going to add this extra layer so that, when I'm channel teaching the whole time, they're using my voice, the vibration that goes through my voice to start to shake things loose. Mm-hmm. And it can be such a profound shift. There's always aha moments. There's always tissues.
We'll have enough of those.
And it's just because it's really giving you a sacred container to just be raw and open, and that is really rare.
Mm-hmm. in a safe place,
in
right?
a very sacred, safe place. Yep.
Connie is telling us something here. She says, if I didn't have a broken wrist, I'd be there. I can't travel. Oh,
Ah, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
She just broke her wrist not too long ago.
Oh
And
my
I'm
goodness.
still dealing with that. Yeah.
That is a tough one. Yes. I can understand that. I had tweaked my shoulder muscle. And so my physical therapist was showing me how to load and unload luggage correctly so that I don't tweak it on my travel again.
Oh,
So
well,
I,
that's important to know. That's
yes,
important.
yeah, because there's things that we instinctively do that aren't good for our body. And so I totally get it. I wouldn't even remotely try to travel with a broken wrist either.
No, no.
We'll send hugs
Um,
your direction.
exactly, exactly. It's too bad that your daughter couldn't come with you, and she could do the luggage carrying thing.
We get the girls going.
Yeah, yeah. And so here, Jill is saying, and she's asking you this question, right?
Yep.
And as she was typing this out, you actually answered it. Because her next one is like, okay, answered as I wrote.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
team's pretty good.
All right. So if you're interested in taking the class, and I hope you are, please come and join us. Go to starnationsorganization.org, the Academy page, and you're going to see the information on how to register there. If you're local and you want to pay by check, that's great. Just come and show up and we'll put you down on the list. We do need to know, though, a number count to make sure that I have enough chairs and space and that kind of thing. So just give me, I can PM me. You can send me an email message just to let me know that you're coming. Okay. So I have enough chairs
Yes.
and enough snacks. That's
Yes.
the most important thing, right?
Important.
That sacred chocolate would have enough of it.
Yes. Yes. But no nuts.
Yeah. Yes, no nuts, no nuts. So, Polly Jo, as we come to a closure on this, is there something that you'd like to say that we haven't mentioned yet, in case we forgot something?
So, really, any of this healing work, I guess, the thing that's coming through is, this is all about you. Are you in a place where you really would like to shift something in your life and just haven't known how? Or do you want to take control of your own health? Because a lot of times, we have anxiety or different things, and we've tried medications and different things that just haven't really worked for us. And all of those you'll get actually all of that in this workshop. And, and you'll get some goodies too, some things that when I'm doing channeling work, it always is specifically for who shows up. So I have an outline. I know the general gist, but what comes out is catered just for you. So when do you get an opportunity for that? So I hope you guys will join us because I'm so ready to see you in your true purpose.
Yeah. In Star Nations, the platform that we built for the live show hosts, the contributing writers, the teachers, is to help them get their message out, help them to get their soul work out. And recently, my team had me contacting different writers and show hosts to let them know that now is the time to not filter, not hold back, is to give it 120%. Because the stage might be the same size. It's no longer a theater. We're in a stadium. And so we're reaching a lot of people. And if you're one of those people who want to do your soul work in in a way that is integrous, and that you can feel the solidness under your feet. This class with Polly Jo is the ticket. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for joining us, you guys. You guys are great.
Yes, thanks. And thanks for sharing.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing.
Share in case there's anybody else who might benefit from it.
Right. Yeah, be a messenger, right? Share it with somebody. That would be really helpful. And so enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday. Polly Jo has her show at noon.
Yay!
Chakra sessions, and I have communications from home at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you tomorrow night too, okay? All right.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.